These are the contenders. From the USA, Dave Waddington, one of America's top-line powerlifters. From the Netherlands, Arb Wolders, who's currently Holland's strongest man. From Kenya, Pius Oching, one of his country's best-ever Olympic lifters. From Iceland, the showman Jon Pall Sigmarsson, last year's runner-up. Canada's representative is Daniel Poulain, arm wrestler and professional strongman. West Germany competing in the massive shape of champion lifter Rudolf Kuster. From Sweden and on home ground, jazz-loving powerlifter Ingvar Gustafsson. And from Britain, the man they'll all have to beat, Jeff Capes, currently the world's strongest man. And we, like the competitors, have travelled to a wintry Sweden and a place called Mora, a round-the-year holiday resort in the Siljan region, 150 snowy miles northeast of Stockholm. And the first event for the Daft Trucks Trophy is, quite naturally, the truck pull. 2 8-ton trucks there, so the strongmen will be competing in pairs. They'll be pulling these trucks along 30 metres of icy, snowy ground. The conditions are very, very cold. It's minus 10 degrees centigrade at the moment. We've already cleared away inches of snow from the track, but I don't think conditions have ever been quite so tough for a pulling event. And first away, it's Jon Pall Sigmarsson, the blonde giant from Iceland, and he's taking on this man, Daniel Poulain, a bulldozer driver from Quebec. Ready? Yeah. It's going to be hard getting a grip on this snowy ground with 8 tons of truck to pull, but Jon Pall is getting off now to a very quick start. But Daniel Poulain just can't get going. Maybe he could do with his bulldozer to help right now, but yes, I think he is moving now. Yes, the wheels are turning. Sigmarsson's steaming ahead, though. He's setting a cracking challenge to the rest of the strongmen. And that's the time to beat, 33 seconds. Jon Pall very happy about this. An amazing time considering the very difficult conditions.
At this moment, third me, and then the Kenyan in fourth place. So already the competition is open.
This is a land of pine forest, so there's been no difficulty at all in finding the vital ingredient for the next event, a caber. Tossing the caber is as traditional a sport in the Northlands of Sweden as it is in the Highlands of Scotland. And this particular caber, well, it weighs about 36 kilos, that's about 80 pounds. It's about 5 metres long, and the strongmen have to throw it as far as they can. And it's on its end, and it's over. Arb will be happier about that one. 13 metres 50, that's 44¼ feet. But he seems to have hurt his hand. Not too badly, though. As Sigmarsson gets ready for his final throw, how does Jeff rate him in this event?
John was up in Scotland last year, and unfortunately we taught him how to toss the caber, and he's becoming more efficient all the time. And in fact, he's very good. Again, I think you know, he's the sort of guy who'll go on and keep learning and learning and learning until he's unbeatable.
Well, let's see if he's unbeatable now. He's already thrown 60 metres 65, 54½ feet. Can the pupil beat the master? And that's a tremendous throw. They'll be proud of him in Scotland.
With his second throw, Sigmarsson sets a new world record. 17 metres 29 centimetres.
So, a new world record for Jon Pall, 56 feet 9 inches, and that gives him 8 points. One more than his Highland Games mentor, Jeff Capes. Dave Waddington, who says he's still getting over jet lag, picks up 6 useful points there, but it's the Icelanders' event. Well, congratulations, Jon Pall, on breaking a new world record.
Thank you.
Do you normally throw the caber?
No, I don't. I did last summer in Scotland, but not for distance. Just turn over 12 o'clock.
For the accuracy of the toss, really?
Yeah.
And have you done a lot of training for this championship?
I'm always training a lot. Always. Not especially for world's strongest man. Just for myself.
And how important is it to you to win this competition?
I want to be the king of the competition. Always.
Well, this log fire has been helping to warm us all up after the Arctic conditions outside, but our strongmen have got another way of hotting up as well. It's the rock lift, and it's a pure test of brute strength. And what makes this extra difficult is the rocks are any old shape, and they're awkward to handle. And here's the would-be king of the strongmen, Jon Pall Sigmarsson, the young pretender, making a bid for Capes' crown. And Sigmarsson makes that look like a piece of cake. Jon Pall calling on the Nordic gods for a bit of help. And like Arb, he's also using the head technique. Yes, it's a good lift for this 25-year-old Icelander. And he acknowledges the cheers of his fans.
Come on.
Well, Jeff's really fired up now, and the crowd are really appreciating this great sportsman. And Sigmarsson, ever the showman, seems to be thoroughly enjoying this event as well. But can he stay with Capes? Absolute concentration as he prepares for that lockout up above. Yes, he's done it. And it's body beautiful time. So the pair are still deadlocked with only 2 rocks left. So Jon Pall playing it safe, trying for the 1-2-5. It's high and home for Sigmarsson at 125 kilos. Jeff Capes now taking a big chance. If he fails, Jon Pall wins the event. What a shame. Capes indicates that's enough. His gamble didn't pay off, and for Sigmarsson, the nightclub bouncer from Reykjavik, it's 3 wins in a row. Our Wolders still looking very much in contention with 6 points, and little Paiso Ching and Rudi Kuster sharing 4th position. But it's maximum points for the Icelander. Here's the overall scoreboard after 3 events. Well, we've come outside again now into the cold and the snow and the dark for an event which features the famous Dala wooden horses of this particular region of Sweden, the Siljan region. They've been carved by local people here for more than 100 years now. They're very distinctive in their looks, and they've become one of the national symbols of Sweden. And the particular horse that the strongmen are going to lift now is this one. It weighs 25 kilos, that's about 56 pounds, and if you think that's not very heavy, it's about the same weight as this young lady here, 10-year-old Sora Bood, who lives in this part of Sweden, and she weighs about 4 stone. So imagine holding 4 stone out in front of you. There is one compensation, though, for the strongmen. Whoever holds this up for the longest gets to keep it as a gift from the local people. Some of the locals are braving temperatures of -16 to watch this event, though not all of them can keep their eyes open. Now to the last man, who also happens to be an overall lead so far in this World Championship, Jon Pall Sigmarsson. Can he make it 4 wins in a row?
I'm going to win! I came here to win!
He came here to win, he says, but will he be able to beat Arb Wolders' time of 46 seconds? He's already beaten Kuster's time, but he's 6 seconds short of Wolders, making it Sigmarsson's worst result so far, a mere 2nd place. Ahead of him was Arb Wolders with that remarkable 46-second hold. Kuster did better than expected, picking up 6 valuable points. Heat 2, and the lineup is Sigmarsson, there is the camera, Poulin from Canada, Waddington from America, and on the far side, Jeff Capes. And this is Jeff's eye view of the course.
Ready! Go!
And Poulin's made a very slow start there. Capes is just leading on the right from Waddington. But Jon Pall is catching them first. Capes is winning. Who'll be second? And I think Jon Pall just pipped Dave Waddington. And as we see it again, watch out for Sigmarsson as he literally throws the sledge at the finishing line and he beats Waddington by a reindeer's whisker. Jeff Capes also having difficulty in breathing after the demanding race, but for the first time here in Sweden, he's won something. Now Arb Wolders on the left versus Sigmarsson on the right. And this promises to be very close because they're both immensely fast and very fit. They've started at a really furious pace. Wolders just ahead. And they're still almost neck and neck as Wolders reaches his final block. And that is a very first time indeed, with Jon Pall only just behind. A great performance by both of these great competitors. And as Wolders turn to come first again, Sigmarsson starting to get used to second place, and Jeff Capes, probably the best all-round athlete of the lot, gets another 6 points. But Jeff Capes needs a miracle now to retain his world title. And the rest of the field, well, they don't stand a chance, but they're enjoying themselves. Next to go, it's Jon Pall Sigmarsson. It's 210 kilos, but it could have been a matchstick. And away to the crowd, who are really warming to this very powerful young man. And at the same weight, Jon Pall Sigmarsson. And that Swedish log is certainly getting an awful lot of Icelandic stick. No, it's roll forward. He's lining up again. But that's it. Wisely, Jon Pall's not risking any injury that could put him out of the contest. But it could mean extra points for Jeff, because Jon Pall will have to be content to share third place with Wolders. It was a fantastic performance to beat Wolders and Sigmarsson, Kuster and Gustafsson, all of them world-class lifters. But it's victory at last for Dave Waddington, the powerlifter from Sandusky, Ohio. So with just one event to go, this is the position. Sigmarsson from Iceland still on top, 5 points ahead of Arb Wolders. Go to the second semi-final, the showdown between Jeff Capes, the reigning title holder, and the heir apparent Jon Pall Sigmarsson. A man-to-man battle of the giants.
Wait for the go. Yep. Both of you. Right. Take the strain. Go!
It seems good for Jeff. But just look at that power, and Jeff's hurt. The king has lost his crown, roars Jon Pall in his moment of victory. But Jeff gave a shout of absolute agony at the end of the bout. What exactly happened?
I had the muscle tear in the forearm. Literally just, you know, you can hear it.
It's Daniel Poulin versus Jon Pall Sigmarsson for the final.
You and I take a match?
No, I'm not. He gives up. You win.
But no, it seems that Jon Pall is also injured, and he's conceding this event to Daniel Poulin.
Okay. So you are the winner.
So even Sigmarsson is feeling the pain after 2 days of hard competition, which means that Daniel Poulin gets maximum points. But yet another second place for Jon Pall was more than enough to make him the new title holder. Jon Pall, congratulations on being the world's strongest man.
Thank you.
How do you feel at this moment?
I am, like we say in Iceland, I am in seventh heaven.
It's always been an ambition of yours?
To be world's strongest man. Yes, since I was about 5 years old. I said to my brother, one day I'm going to be the world's strongest man. And of course he made a laugh of me.
He didn't believe you?
No.
They'll have to believe it now.
Yes.
So the final scoreboard tells the story. Jeff Capes, the old campaigner, beaten at last by the power of Dutchman Arb Wolders and by the superb Jon Pall Sigmarsson.